Howdy there, folks. I'm Quinn of Snazzy Labs, and this is the unboxing of the much anticipated PlayStation Vita. Now, this is Sony's next generation console, the successor to the very infamous PSP, which has really been out since 2005, very little updates over the years. And so this came with a lot of hype, and as of right now, there's not very many good titles, and the reviews are kind of, people have had them for several months now, especially for people in Japan, but circumstances led me to be able to get one, and so I'm here to do an unboxing and just kind of show you what comes with the console. I know there's tons of these, but they're not snazzy, so here we go. The console is anything but cheap. For the console itself, it's $249.99 US, and that's just with Wi-Fi. If you want the 3G model, that's going to be $300, and games are pretty much the same as PlayStation titles were, anywhere from $29 to $50. So I spent in total $396.04 for the console, 2 games, and a memory card, which is certainly not cheap, and one of the reasons I think the Vita is having a little bit of difficulty entering the market with Storm. So let's open this right here. We have the terrible little adhesive stickers right here to hold the console shut. You have a nice cardboard box, nothing great, but nothing too terrible. We can pull this tab here and open up the console itself, or the box itself. There's another tab. There's far too many of them. All right, get this next tab up, and now we should be good to go. Yes, we are. And right off the top, we have some things that slide out. First of all, we get some AR, or play cards, which are augmented reality. There are 2 cameras on the Sony Vita, and what you can do is with these cards interact with your games. I don't think a lot of titles are taking advantages of these yet. I think Sony has a couple of little free demos on the device for you to check out, but that's kind of cool. Certainly something that will bring in creative and new gameplay. Whether or not it's actually usable and not just gimmicky remains to be seen. We also get the PlayStation Protection Plan, which is probably not a great value. And we have Long Live Play, just a couple of titles that are out at launch, as well as the accessories: in-ear headset, cradle, carrying case, and protective film. Doubt any of those are of that great quality and probably overpriced. We have this quick start guide here, which is pretty short, just tells us about the console, the user interface, how to use it, how to boot it, all that good stuff. And we have another in French. Why French and not Spanish, I don't know, but there you go. We also have the console itself. There's this little door here, which opens up to the power cable, what is this? Oh, the actual power brick, the power supply, and then we have this proprietary, that's typical Sony, USB to some bizarre Vita cable. Proprietary has always been Sony's way of going, and I absolutely hate that about the company. It's a terrible way to do business. It's a sham to your customers, but Sony's never had a problem with it. Right here we have the actual console wrapped in this like little foam, and we'll pull it out and take a look at that in a minute. We also have a couple of other things, a safety guide, and that's all you're going to get with the actual console. Now, you do need a memory card, and this is a total sham. Sony says on the front of the box, PS Vita memory card required for most gameplay. That's completely erroneous. It's required for all gameplay. Unlike the DS and unlike a couple of other consoles out there that allow you, a little bit of random access memory to save games on and whatnot, there's nothing on the PS Vita. Not even like 20 or 25 megabytes, zero, zilch. So in order to play any game on the PS Vita, you need to buy their memory cards, and it's not a micro SD card like pretty much every other console is. It is a proprietary memory card from Sony, which is significantly more than any other memory card on the market. This is the 8 gigabyte PS Vita memory card, and it was $29.99. Throw me a freaking bone, Sony. That's like 3 times as much as a regular card, and I doubt that there's really any difference. So really annoying, typical Sony. You will need a memory card to use the console. It comes in 4, 8, 16, and 32 gigabyte flavors from $19.99 to I think $119. So not cheap, and this is required to use the console. Very disappointing. There's also not too many great titles out right now. Best Buy had a buy 2, get 1 free, so That's what I did. There's Uncharted Golden Abyss, which is pretty much the only title people are excited about. The graphics are supposed to be pretty good. There's a little bit of aliasing in the game. You can still tell it's a handheld, but it's supposed to be pretty all right. We have Wipeout 2048. I've always liked the Wipeout series, so I picked this up. And we have Touch My Katamari. I doubt this will be anything too fantastic, but it was relatively inexpensive, and it was one of the few titles out there. There was FIFA, there was Rayman. However, you know, that was not at my Best Buy. So these are the titles I picked up. Again, we can only assume that once the console, if the console gains higher popularity, greater titles will be brought to it, like the PSP, but we'll see. One thing that I do want to mention that I think a lot of people are missing is people say, you know, the graphics on this are good, but they're not fantastic. And if you go back to the original PSP in 2005, the original titles were nice. They had great graphics considering it was a console, or a handheld console. But if you look at the games that were released last year or the year before, the graphics are significantly better. So one can only assume that in a couple of years, assuming the life of this device lasts as long as its predecessor, one can only assume that the titles will be optimized more thoroughly for the PS Vita's hardware. Now, it does feature a quad-core Cortex-A9 processor, which is kind of out of this world good. It's one of the most powerful handheld consoles, and it features a nice 5-inch, if memory serves me correctly, OLED display. It is not the best resolution out there. The Galaxy Note is 5.3 inches and it has a 1280 by 800 resolution, which is quite a bit better than the Vita. Nonetheless, this does have a very, very nice display that should hold up pretty well against the competition. Certainly better than what's found in the Nintendo 3DS. Now, you have some kind of smoke black bumpers up here, left and right. Austin Evans, Duncan 33303 did note that his were a little bit squeaky. Mine are not that, so that's lucky. He must have just gotten a lemon. But the build quality on this is supposed to be pretty good. Up top, we have a power button. There is an internal battery. It is not removable, which is quite annoying, but you know, again, Sony. And we have that button and the standby button. Takes about 5 to 6 seconds to boot into the actual console, which is kind of weird. We have this little door right here to throw in the actual games. The games are very much like an SD card. You pop them in there, and the console can read from them. This door, I think, is a little bit less to be desired. It seems kind of janky. While it seems that it will hold up right now, you know, in 2 years, whether these latches stay remains to be seen, and I hope that that's not a problem in the future. Right here, you have an accessory shoe, which no accessories really support yet, I think. So there's that. I'm assuming this is for like AV cable out in the future, HDMI kind of stuff. Right now, there's nothing that supports this, but I guess in the future, we'll see more things. We have volume control down and up right there. On the back, we have one VGA camera, which is, you know, it's VGA, so it's passable for virtual reality and stuff like that, but I doubt you'll be using it, or I doubt you'll want to be using it as a camera. We have a little grip here. We have the very, very large touchpad, which is on the whole back of the device. It is surrounded in glossy plastic, so this thing is going to be a fingerprint magnet of all fingerprint magnets, but that's there. On the front, we have a very glossy finish. As you can see, we have your traditional PlayStation buttons, X, circle, triangle, square. We have another VGA camera, and we have 2 analog sticks, which are not very resistive. I hope they would have, or I would have hoped they would have been better. I've tried the Nintendo 3DS analog sticks, and I already like them better. They're a lot more malleable, and they feel a lot more resistive. These are kind of janky and don't move with a lot of force. We have a D-pad right here, and the D-pad is all one button, which I also do not like. I wish they would have had 4 consolidated buttons, but that's what you're going to find. It kind of just moves a little bit too freely. I don't like that. It's too loose, in my opinion. You have a PlayStation button, which will take you home. It's basically like the iPhone's home button. And we have a start and select button, which are pretty small, but again, you don't use those buttons very often. We have stereo speakers that, according to the reviews, are supposed to be pretty decent, so that's nice to see. The display is slightly offset, which bothers me ever so slightly, but you know, something I'll have to deal with. The display itself is a touchscreen display, which is nice to see as well. So this thing is very, very touch-oriented, and these buttons are kind of going by the waysides, as we've seen with the 3DS and a couple of other consoles out there. Now, on the bottom, we have our connector port, we have a headphone jack, and we have the area where you place your terribly overpriced proprietary memory card. So that is the unboxing of the PlayStation Vita. In the next couple days, I'll do gameplay videos, whatnot, and eventually in a week or so, I'll do a final review. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, comment. I'm Quinn of Snazzy Labs with the brand new Sony PS Vita. And as always, stay snazzy. See you later, folks.